Mate, stoked to have you in Australia, and what a way to finish off your Death Magnetic tour by finishing up here, which is great. I was just talking to Rob before about the last time you were here, the big day out, and apparently you boys just loved it. The festival, you got to meet bands, you got to party and get to meet everyone, so you guys are massive fans of Australia, aren't you?
Well, that is a good festival for sure.
Yep.
And that, you know, and the country itself is awesome. You know, it's a lot of friendly people, a lot of great weather, a lot of just great metal fans as well.
Yeah.
And that festival, a lot of good memories about that one, for sure.
You even go check out our sport. James, apparently you went to an Aussie Rules game. Can you remember the teams that you're watching? Let's see how good your memory was.
Yeah, that was Geelong and, well, it was the Pies. I don't remember where they're from.
Collingwood.
Yeah.
What did you think of our game, our national game?
Pretty cool. We had a
pretty tough game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had something similar to that in school. Now, I can't tell you what it was called.
We call it Red Rover here. It was a game that we played in school where is that where you pick someone out and they've got to get past you and you tackle them? Or no, it's a different game.
No, this was pretty much whoever's got the ball, smash him.
Right, okay. Yeah.
It was called Smear the Queer, but nowadays it's very un-PC, so I can't even say that.
That's going to take off now. James Hetfield just started a new game in primary school. Smear the Queer.
Smear the Queer. Whoever had the ball, you just smash him. That was it, you know? And you run, but this was obviously a lot more evolved than that.
Well, you guys still tour very hard, but you give yourself a little bit of time in between now. So what have you been doing in Australia? Is there anything that you want to see? Is there anything you want to do?
Well...
Have you been riding kangaroos around the streets and stuff like that? What have you been doing?
No, these guys have been trying to get me out surfing. They're full-on surf freaks, man. Yeah. They're nuts about it.
How do you go?
And I'm hot and cold. When if it's too windy or if it's too cold, I'm going out, man. I'm very fair weather fan of that.
Yeah.
But I got some friends here that got cars, car clubs and things, and just taking it easy, really, kind of chilling. Seeing the light at the end of the tunnel is kind of nice.
Now, you guys have obviously grown up now, but how have you seen your fans grow up? I mean, 30 years, coming up to 30 years now, Metallica.
Yep.
How have you seen, going to the shows now and seeing these young kids are now grown men as well? I mean, how have you seen your fans grow up?
It is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And it's hard to tell, because we're meeting so many people along the way. You've kind of meeting them for the first time. You don't know if they've been fans forever or not, but they'll tell you, like in the meet and greet, saying, and it never gets old to hear someone say, "You got me through high school. You saved my life. This time, that time, and thank God for you guys. And I'm so glad that you guys make music and this and that." The other thing is when we see friends at home, that have kind of grown up around us and. Seeing where they are in their lives is pretty interesting, Some people just are total music fans and they need it in their lives.
Yep.
And some people, it's like that helped me through a time and it reminds me of that and now I'm on to this. And that's perfectly fine as well.
Well, that for me, Metallica was rebel years for me, teenager, and I just absolutely loved you to death. So when Mum and Dad grounded me and I'm stuck in my room, I just used to sit in there and just go, "Darkness imprisoning me!" So for me, it was just rebelling. So Metallica was such a big part of my life.
Good.
So thank you for sticking it up my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
All right.
Because it got me. Let's talk about kids. You got 3.
Yeah.
I want to know, James. Do they listen to Metallica, or are they into Justin Bieber, or what music are your kids into these days?
Well, I see now and then on the email, some of the iTunes, here's what your son has bought recently, it's like, okay.
What's he listening to?
He loves the Ramones.
Right.
He loves AC/DC. He loves Red Hot Chili Peppers right now.
Yep.
My girls like, they're not so much in Justin Bieber or,
Lady Gaga,
yeah, kind of that, like Rihanna. They kind of like a little more of the soul stuff. They do like some rap things, but and they like the Black Eyed Peas a lot.
Right, yeah.
Fun music.
Yep.
My boy, I saw on there said, "Hey, there was I Disappear," and then there's Unforgiven and Enter Sandman. It's like, all right.
He's
My
finally
son bought 'em.
Yeah? How does
Yeah.
he go at the gigs? Did they
Dude,
enjoy
how are you
it?
going to pay for these? The heck?
He didn't get him off Napster, did he? Oh.
Ouch, man. That hurt, man.
As long as he's paying for his music, James.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's funny. Like, do you take the family away with you when you're touring? Are they on this tour now? Are they with you?
They're not on there now, but there's this thing called school.
Yeah.
You know, sucks sometimes. And you can't bring your kids whenever
That's
you want.
right.
Used to be, you know, do anything you want at any time, but
Yeah.
now pretty much school rules our schedules. But we yanked them on the last leg when we went to Japan.
Yeah.
Because they hadn't been there before.
Yeah.
They've been to Australia, they've been to New Zealand, but they'd never been to Japan, so we just yanked them out of school and brought them there.
I've always wanted to know, when you were disciplining your children when they were growing up, like say that there was a boiling pot, you know, up on the stove and that, did you used to, like you were singing up on stage, you used to yell out, whoa, whoa, or they did something good, did you just do the, yeah, yeah? Do you do that
Yeah,
at
something
home
good.
around the family, James?
Yeah. Sure. You know, there's many different hats that I wear. And at home, you know, my voice does get a little loud sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm learning that, you know, the louder I yell, it doesn't necessarily get
Mate,
anything done, you know?
Your voice is still... Have you ever had problems with your voice, James? Have you ever had nodules or anything like that on your voice? Because, I mean, a 2-hour gig is massive for your voice.
No, I
Do you
think
drink
I've
anything
always
before?
had nodules. And they just, you know, some singers make careers out of them, you
Yeah.
know?
What's your routine?
I've been pretty fortunate.
Yes.
Pretty fortunate. Because, yeah, you know, in the 90s, we were doing 3-hour shows.
That's right.
A night with Metallica, whether you liked it or not, you know? Oh, my God, 3 hours.
And you were like, and drinking then too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, God, I mean, what were your riders back then? What were you going through before a gig, James? And then doing that to your voice.
You know, it wasn't so much before the gig, it was after
After,
the gig.
yeah.
But, you know, if you were extra hungover, you'd have a little something before just to kind of take the edge off. But as far as the voice goes, I lost it. I've never really completely lost
Yeah.
it, but it's been in a state of emergency. We were recording the Black album, I think
Yeah.
it was, and that's when I started to realize, I better take care of this
Yeah,
thing.
it's right. Oh, you've worked it for a
It's
long
just
time.
like a muscle. You
Yeah.
gotta stretch it. and,
Exactly.
you know.
It's like another muscle in the body as well that you got to stretch. Hey, let's talk about the show because this is the end of it. So 2 years you've been touring the Death Magnetic Tour. So, I mean, you'll be at the top of your game with this. What can we expect for people that are going to see this show? What can we expect to see on this big tour?
Well, Death Magnetic has been unbelievable. There's no way we expected this kind of response or love for what we're still doing after 30 years. I look out there and I'm still blown away. It's like, you really like this? Come on. You know, I'm getting punked here, you know, or something. Or you see, you know, all these like 14-year-old kids or 12-year-olds down in the front.
Yeah.
And their parents are sitting up around there making sure everything's okay. Yeah. And you see by the end of the show, the parents are rocking out. It's like, all right. And I guess they do like it.
Yeah.
And it's just hard to believe that something that's coming out of my insanity is some stuff that people relate to.
What about babies, James? Because I'm thinking about taking my 13-month... I took him to his first gig, right? 6 months old, I took him to AC/DC's Black Ice Tour. And he fell asleep about 45 minutes in. And then they played Thunderstruck and everyone around us is going, Thunder! And he just woke him up. And I'm thinking about taking him to the Death Magnetic Tour. Have you seen babies thrown at you in the audience? Have you ever had a baby thrown to you?
Not
James?
yet. No, and, well, I don't want to say yet, because we don't really want that happening. No nappies thrown on stage either, you
Just
know.
thongs.
Yeah, clean thongs.
Yeah.
We've seen pregnant people, you know, we've seen old people and walkers, and we've seen them all there.
Yeah.
And all are welcome, man, and it's so awesome. I mean, the shows, you know, since I've had kids, the show's become a little more family friendly as
Right.
far as the language goes.
Yes. So you can't play So What anymore.
We haven't played it for a while.
Right.
There's just too many words that just ain't right, man.
When you see your son buying that off iTunes, you know you're in trouble.
You know what? That's fine. He's heard them all, but I don't need to promote them, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, going on the tour, seeing all kinds of people showing up. It's pretty unbelievable.
Yeah.
And that is, like I've been saying on stage, the ultimate sign of respect. People coming to see you live because they can sit at home and get all the things that they want brought to them and this and that on the computer. But showing up, eye to eye, feeling the vibe, going back and forth, nothing like it, man.
Man, I'm feeling the vibe now. And like I said, James, you could come back here for the next 20, 30 years and still sell out shows. AC/DC is still doing it at 65.
That's awesome.
Can we see you doing it at 65? 20? Can you reckon you'll still be doing it at 65, James?
Well, you know, there's a lot of bands that we look up to and respect that have been doing things a long time, like Lemmy or you know, the Stones and things like that. I would have to say though, Angus and AC/DC, they're the band that I respect the most because of the energy that they put out every night, and they're still doing it. You know, some of the other bands are a little more, you know, not as physical, but they are. So I sure hope so. I sure hope so.
Mate, you're a bloody legend.
Yeah.
I'm a massive fan.
Thanks.
I've been shitting myself
Couldn't
the
tell.
whole day with this interview. I appreciate you coming on.
Right on.
James Hetfield,
Okay, thank
you
you.
very much.